And we are back in.
Hey, Stephen, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm glad we can finally get this show going. I apologize for all the delays, but we've got a big group in the audience today.
We do. So, first of all, welcome to fall. It is officially fall, y'all.
Yay.
I know. I'm so excited about that. Mm-hmm. So, one of the ways that we're going to kick off the fall season is with Miles for Megan. And
I
so
love it.
I do too. Miles for Megan is going to happen this Saturday down at Buttermilk Falls, and it's a fundraiser that honors Megan, who is the daughter of Heidi Haynes and the niece of Tara Benham. And so Heidi and Tara are here to join us in the studio today. They're sisters. They're going to walk us through the situation with Megan and tell us a little bit how this happened. My co-host today is Stephen Spawn.
Hello, y'all.
And
Pleasure to be here.
Yep. And Stephen is always great to have along because he shares so much. He's so involved in so many things that were happening. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into this.
Yeah.
One thing is, I'm not as familiar with anything to do with Megan until as much as perhaps Stephen is. And so tell me a little bit. Tell me a little bit about her and her legacy, and a little bit about her life and how this came to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll start from the beginning.
Good.
She had a couple of doctor's appointments in May of 2014. We thought was a sinus infection.
And how old was she?
She was 20.
20. Okay.
Well, she was 19 at the time.
Okay.
Of the first doctor appointment. She turned 20 at the end of May.
Okay.
And the doctor's appointment led to her needing further testing for high white blood count.
Okay.
So they sent us to Harrison County, and from there, the same day, sent us straight to Norton's Women's in Louisville. And within just a few days, that was on June 3rd, on June the 4th, they diagnosed her with leukemia.
Oh, wow.
AML leukemia.
Okay.
Acute myeloid leukemia.
As far as I know, there's different stages of leukemia. So as far as what stages this could be, was something that you felt like it could be?
Yes, this was one that could be curable.
Okay.
We've actually had a couple friends go through the same journey and have survived it.
Okay.
So they started her treatment. We did treatment in June, July, and August.
Now, when you say treatment, was it chemotherapy?
She did, yeah. She did a week of chemo and then 3 weeks off. A week of chemo, 3 weeks off.
Okay.
And she contracted. Of course, your numbers go down. You get infections if you're around a lot of different people. And we tried not to be around a lot of different people. We were very picky and limited to what we did. But somehow in August, she contracted an infection. So they fought that, got all of that, we thought, back in order. Got us to Lexington to find a match for stem cell transplant. And that was scheduled for October the 13th. So everything was up and up. And, of course, this particular leukemia also has a high risk of relapse, even when you're on the up and up. And she relapsed on October the 1st and went downhill from there.
Yeah.
She did come home for several weeks in November, somewhere between end of October and November, and then spiked a fever, was home through Christmas that year, spiked a fever on New Year's, and we ended back up in the hospital, and we didn't bring her home from the hospital.
So when did she pass?
She passed January 26, 2015.
So less than a year from diagnosis.
About 8 months.
Wow. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
wow. So how was it with your family? I mean, I know you said you're a teacher. Did you not go back to work that year?
I did not go back to work that year.
Okay.
Well, actually, I did go back to work for 12 days when school started. And no, 12 days, 12 weeks. 12 days. 12 weeks. She was, the whole month of October and November, she was in and out of the hospital. I worked for about 12 weeks at the beginning of the school year. And then I put in for sick leave the rest of the year once she relapsed when she went back in January, I was out.
Okay. Do you have other children?
I do. I have a son that is now 27. He was 16 at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
They're
good.
4 years apart.
Now tell me about Megan kind of growing up. We weren't really want to capture
Yeah.
the beautiful person
What was she
while
like?
she was here on Earth. And
Oh, gosh.
inspiring us. What was her
She-
hobbies and
She lit up the room when she walked in, always smiling.
yeah.
blonde bombshell,
I've seen pictures. She's
Spitting image of
absolutely
me.
beautiful. Yeah.
Sassy, attitude.
prettier than I was. Sassy, very sassy. Her favorite hobbies were she loved softball. She played soccer for a little while.
Okay.
And then when she got to the point where she had to choose, she played basketball for a little while. And when she got to the point where you got to choose one sport or narrow it down, she stuck with softball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And excelled at it. She was a pitcher.
Did she go to Meade County schools?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she had already graduated.
She graduated, and she was, at the time it happened, she was a sophomore at U of L. She was in her second year at U
What
of
was
L.
she majoring in?
Nursing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we'll kind of talk about that connection here in
Yeah.
a little bit. But so Megan's mission is kind of something she developed, right? When she
She-
found out her diagnosis, she says, I'm not going to let this, bring me down, define me. We're going to start fighting this. And so how did she kind of come up with the family for Megan's mission?
She did. She started a Megan's Mission Facebook page, and it was going to be her, kind of her. Sorry, my watch.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It was going to be her page to get out to everybody that wanted to keep up with her journey.
Oh, I
That
see.
way she could only update one
So it was
spot
gonna
and
be
everybody
like an
chime
online
in.
journal that other people
It
could
was
read.
actually
Okay.
that's it. That's
Okay.
what she wanted it to be, her online journal.
Okay.
So she started that, and then my sister and my best friend Bobby Joe, about midways of all of this, decided we were all going to get shirts made, kind of the Team Megan deal. Mm-hmm. So they kind of jumped on board with that, and we did that through the Megan's Mission. And I don't know, it was like a overwhelming amount of shirts that immediately got ordered.
Yeah.
I think over 100 maybe. And so we got that going. And Megan just stayed very positive through it all. She kept her faith through it all. She's been in church since she was itty bitty.
Yeah.
And she just kept her faith through it all. And God was with her through everything. She never once got down,
Yeah.
no matter what the diagnosis was or what was thrown at her.
And you guys were there for the support through the whole thing, which I know as a parent, and mine's similar, but not. My daughter was about 4 months old, so I didn't have the lifelong journey of a 20-year-old. But I know the family, and the diagnosis from everything was on the up and up, and then the disease happens, and then all of a sudden it's not. And, kind of talk about that family ties, during that difficult time. I know your husband, Tommy, has
Yes.
been a big support. Your sister here, Tara,
Yes.
it became a family thing. It wasn't, all the family kind of pulled together. How was that?
And not only
support?
just a family thing, but we have a close circle of friends. Tara and I do. We share the same friends. We're only a year apart. So we have a circle of friends that just rallied around us, and that's been our support group the last 12 years. Our family is very close anyway on both sides, mine and Tara's family. And then Tommy, and he has a brother as well. So there's about 14 of us on both sides, and it's just a very close-knit family. And I don't know where we'd be without that family support
Yeah, I was
and
gonna-
that friends.
I was going to ask about the community. Did the community
Rallied
surround
around us
you?
as well, yes.
Took care of you.
The very first Miles for Megan 5K was actually in September of 2014, and Megan was there.
for that one,
Yeah,
rallying people.
That's
and
where
raising
she
funds.
had the up and up and was
also
feeling
came
really
up-
good.
She came up with the kickball tournament that we
Yeah,
had. She was
kickball was kind of a big thing then, so we doubled up and we did a 5K that morning and a kickball tournament that afternoon, and it was just. I think we raised
out
almost
really good.
$7,000 between
wow.
the two.
Wow.
And that's what got it kicked off. And of course, I wasn't involved in either one of those. The support around us was who got that together, and the money was going to be to go towards our medical bills and things like that. And it was a phenomenal amount of businesses that chimed in and helped out and sponsored, and softball teams in the high school that knew her brother because he played 3 sports in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got pictures of the girls basketball team, Lady Waves, standing in a circle with the Brett County girls praying for Megan before the game.
I will say,
phenomenal.
like Steve Lake can probably kind of verify, we've been in the military and kind of been through communities, one another. And I will hands down say, Meade County
Right.
takes care of its own, which is a beautiful thing, because I have moved around and I just never saw that camaraderie that happens, when there's any kind of, tragedy that happens
Any
or family that needs
yeah.
that thing. The community and the businesses here pull together to support
Mm-hmm.
that. So I mean, it's
Absolutely.
a beautiful place to live.
And we had a lot of people that too, like, at one point Megan was in there for 90 days straight in the hospital. And she would be there all week long. Tommy would come over after work. I would stay on the weekends. Me and Mom usually stayed with her on the weekends to give you all a break. But there was even, family and friends and different ones in the community would volunteer to sit with her while they just went out to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
Sit with her for a whole day while they went home and took a shower or whatever.
That time in the hospital is tough as a parent.
Yes.
I remember
For
being there and just
90
being like,
days it is.
it's like, oh, the beeps and all the nurses
yeah.
come through to check on this and the doctor's doing their rounds and you just never get to escape. So if you get that hour of like, oh, we can go out and have McDonald's,
Yeah.
it's like, well, this is great, good enough because we're not going to the
She got real
cafeteria.
good at pretending she was asleep too, and they would come back later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, Megan passes, her mission's already started and you guys just kind of just
And I think that's wonderful.
pick that
she was
up.
at the first one.
yeah.
Yes.
And you've picked that up since, really having
Yes.
that 5K, and I know we've moved a couple locations, but that's an important thing for the family. I think coming together every year, whatever I've been there, we get together, we pray, we talk, and really kind of grow her life, beyond her life here
Absolutely.
and her memory here, and that's so important that you have this money now that you still raising her, but now you've kind of changed it. It's not taking care of any kind of hospital bills for her now. Now, what are you kind of doing with the funds raised?
So immediately, when she passed at the end of January in 2015, we reached out to the high school and we talked to Matt Spencer and a couple other teachers there, and we wanted to change it over to a scholarship fund in memory of Megan, and we wanted to team up with the HOSA, which is the Health Occupational
Right.
Services
'Cause she wanted to be a
class.
nurse.
She wanted to be a nurse.
Yeah.
So those two teachers jumped on board quickly. At the time, it was Sarah Medley and Laura Adkisson, and Laura's still with me. And they got us an application form. That Matt helped them get an application form together. They said, we think we can get this rolling enough where you could give this year. We wanted to give that year. I said, if you can get it going quick enough, 2015 will be our first year to give. And that's what we did. They usually start taking up the applications in end of February, 1st of March.
Right.
We bring them home. We read through them, choose as a family. If I have any questions, I'll ask one of the teachers, and I usually choose based on attendance, grade point average, and usually community support of what they've done as their
Right.
community hours. And a lot of them will volunteer to help with our events. Laura's already reached out and said, hey, how many workers do you need for the 5K? So
definitely.
that's part of their community hours. And we gave out 7 scholarships that May.
Wow.
Wow.
We do the National Honor Society is the one that actually pulls it all together, and that's where they're giving out at that meeting. And we've been there since. We even gave out through COVID, even though we weren't in school at the time.
How much have you given out
Yeah.
already so far? I can't remember what you
Our last count this past May, we have reached. I actually totaled it last week, so I would know for the 5K. It's a little over $62,000
Wow.
Wow.
that we've given out in scholarships to students that were going to be, and we didn't even narrow it down to a certain type of nurse, even though Megan had chose hers. It was any type of nurse that
In that field.
in that field. One year we even had to change it to medical field because the HOSA group had only like 3 nurses that could apply. And they had a lot of groups that were going into dental, and I mean,
Right.
they were a lot of different radiology and things like that. So one year we opened it up. She's like, you're only going to have 3 if you don't stretch it out.
We don't
So
get
we've
to-
done that.
She
We
did
accommodate
change
that.
her major. She was nursing, just nursing. And in the midst of all of it, she changed to oncology.
Yeah,
Did she-
if she had
Sure,
made
that's
it,
what
she
she
was
would've
going to do
done.
oncology.
Sure.
Pediatrics, oncology pediatrics.
Well, there you go. That's
A difficult one and
pretty
a very needed
specific.
one.
Yeah. So, talk to me a little bit about the actual race. So you'll gather. I guess I'm assuming down on the
We
river.
gather at the pavilion there at Buttermilk.
Right.
We've moved it back home this year. We did Buttermilk for the first 5 or 6, I think. And then we had some interest from the run there at Mockport going out towards
Oh yeah.
it low key, very
Right.
shady, so we moved it over there 3 or 4 years and bring it back to Buttermilk this year. We actually moved it over there because when they split the road and put the gate up. You couldn't get back and do a full 5K without coming back and looping the campground. And now that it's all blacktopped, you can get the full 5K in without
Okay.
Without
looping the
looping back and
the,
going through around.
the gravel.
So you have people set up all along the way?
Just for the 5K, we set up at Midway. My niece, Tara's daughter, the last several years, she just turned 20? Get ready to turn 21. Probably since she was able to drive, 16, 15. She does our water stop out there. So halfway through, you can get water from her, and then you're halfway, and you double back and finish up.
How much does it cost to register for the?
It is $30 this year to register. We also do shirt orders. Of course, we missed the deadline for the shirt, just the shirt order. But I do order extras. So if we have anybody signing up at registration on Saturday, there's a good chance you still get a shirt.
And that registration starts at 8 a.m. out there, down
Registration starts at
And you'll be
8,
there.
and we start the race promptly right at 9 o'clock.
there. Yeah.
So are there winners for the race?
We do. We give out medals for first, second, and third place
Okay.
for male and female in 6 different age categories.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the oldest?
55 plus, I think.
I'm getting there.
55 plus.
55 plus. I'm
6 more years, I'll be in that category.
over that. What's the youngest?
The youngest, we have a group. We started most races, when you look up and research, used to do 19 and under and then start their first big age group at 20. Well, we have a lot of kids that love participating.
Yeah.
So we split the age groups up, and we have a 14 and under now.
Okay, good.
So we have let the little ones
yeah,
get a
because
chance
all
to
these
earn
kids
them.
are doing cross country right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
And they're,
And there's a lot of them involved.
they are.
Now, as far as, there's the race, but there's also some sponsorships. I think PJ Lawson, and I've seen some
PJ
posts from
Lawson
PJ and
reached out to me this
County
year.
CrossFit.
Yep. She always helps out, and she always helps put together. But she reached out to me this year, and she said, "Hey, I'm willing to help you design a shirt. I'm willing to help you get your registrations in." And our son Tyler has been coaching at CrossFit for the last several years, since he was about 17. Gosh, that seems like a long time. He's already 27. So about 10 years or so, he's been part of that family. And she worked her magic, and this is probably the biggest one. When she cut off the race registration the other day, I told her, she said, "Is this the biggest one yet?" And I said, "I think our very first one that Megan was there for had a few more,
Yeah.
if I counted right. But we've surpassed that because we've already had some register since.
And we're going to hopefully have
so-
more after this.
Yeah,
some more
so
people
it
coming
by
down.
far is our biggest one so far.
So if
But-
somebody hasn't registered, like, you know how they have the little campgrounds down there and people are like, oh, look, they're doing something. And they just
Yeah.
meander over.
Yep,
Can
we'll
they
have-
participate?
Yep.
Sign up and, yep.
I'll have
Run.
blank forms to
And
fill
you can
out.
walk too. It's not just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we have lots of walkers.
Yeah,
Lots
so,
of walkers.
So do
yeah.
people come and walk or maybe bring
Oh, yeah.
Good family event,
Yeah, family. It's a family event.
Strollers,
and things
everything
like
else.
that.
Yep.
So let's say somebody is watching the show right now and they're thinking, oh, I've got this, and this going on Saturday. I really can't do anything, can't participate in that. How can they, but that they want to jump in on this. They want to jump in on the blessing and donate. So how would they go about that?
Probably the quickest way to do that is to drop your donation off to Tara. She works at the City Hall in Brandenburg, and a lot of them have even been dropping their sponsorship checks off and registration forms to her. She's the easiest connect right now. Or PJ Lawson at CrossFit. That's kind of a hit and miss depending on what time
They're
the
out,
classes
yeah.
are, in and out. And then I have an address that some of them's been mailing it to, so we can give that. My address is 1111 Midway Road.
Or checks to
Guston.
Megan's Mission or.
Written out to Megan's Mission, yes.
Okay.
Okay, and it's 1111 Midway Road.
Midway Road, Guston.
Yep. Talk to me. So you mentioned just now sponsorship. Talk to us a little bit about sponsorship.
We always send out sponsorship letters for both of our events. We currently, we've held lots of events over the years. We've done antique tractor rides. That her papa was involved with that one. We've done that 5 years in a row. We have 3 aunts on Tommy's side that quilts, and they've made beautiful quilts inspired by Megan, which loved sunflowers. Our very first one they did was sunflowers. We've raffled those off and drawn for those at the 5K in the years past. We've done kickball tournaments, paint parties.
Tyler just started the golf.
And
scramble.
currently we run 2 that are still holding strong. The 5K in September, which we chose September because that is Leukemia Awareness Month. And then in May, Tyler runs a golf scramble, and we chose May because that's her birth month.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of scatters it out a little bit.
And you had one this past May, I believe.
We did have one this past May, the
And that was a
weekend before her
pretty good
birthday.
turnout.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Where'd you guys host that at?
Doe Valley.
Oh, I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a
use Doe
golfer.
Valley.
I make people feel.
We have
good
a
about their
family
game.
friend that manages Doe Valley Golf Course, so.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah.
I have a family friend that's out at Doe Valley as well. I might be able to get that worked out for you.
Yeah, it's great. So we're hopeful in the community. It looks like I checked the weather app, and I think we're supposed to get rain in the next couple of days. But I think like low 80s,
Yes.
sun on
So far, the weather looks great.
Saturday. Of course, we'll have your race. There's other activities going on all throughout Saturday. This Saturday, I know we have the Main Street Mingle. We had them on last
There's
week.
lots of reasons
talking
to be
about that.
downtown,
And then
Brandenburg.
just other activities just throughout Meade County. Of course, you always got Robert's Family Farm out
Right.
there. A couple of the other wineries and everything else. You really get delving into those fall activities. First day of fall yesterday, so here we are. We're there. Summer's officially over.
Yeah.
I noticed on your shirt that there is a scripture from Proverbs.
Yes, we always add a new Bible scripture
Oh, okay.
every year to our
Every year.
shirt.
So if people have been collecting the shirts each year, then
there's
they
something
have
different on them.
Do they? And so how do you go about choosing?
I usually look through the Bible, or it's just random. I sometimes will look through and try to find something that means persevere or running or eyes on the prize. We've used that one before. And other things that she inspired her as well. She had a tattoo on her foot that had one on it, and it was, "She is clothed
In strength and dignity.
and no fears."
From Esther.
Yes.
Yes.
That one's on one of the shirts.
Yeah, beautiful.
So it just kind of depends on
Right.
where we're going that year.
So I like that. That's a little bit different. Somebody could pretty soon somebody's going to have enough T-shirts to make a T-shirt quilt.
I had a lot of T-shirts. I think I've done it for like 5
I've had
6
someone
years.
make me one already.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get ready
Beautiful.
To have one made.
Right.
I got 'em
So, how does it feel to you? So in the mornings you get there, it's 8:00. You're setting up for the registration. I know that you've got to be thinking about your girl.
Oh, yeah.
You're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
You're thinking about her. You think about where would she would be at this time in her life. What
yeah.
might be
Think about that
happening.
often.
Of
Yeah.
course you do. And so in spite of the sadness, there's got to be a joy that rises.
Oh,
from
there
that.
is.
What she's done.
Definitely. What she's meant to not just us, but this community, and what's been done through her journey,
Right.
what's been accomplished through her journey.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys have done this. I mean, you brought a lot of awareness to several different things, not just to leukemia, but her specific type of leukemia. You brought in awareness to the fact that, young people can have a career goal because she was already working
Yeah.
towards a nursing degree. She had already showed some perseverance by using the fact that she had been diagnosed with leukemia. Oh, I'm going to become an oncology nurse. Everything that you're talking about, despite the sadness of losing her, which I know is awful, and our
Right.
hearts go out to you for that. But your family is such a great example to what you can do in a
Yes.
situation.
Resilience and
Yeah.
perseverance, because
Very much so.
I've seen a lot of times, and can kind of speak for a little bit. Kind of sometimes you have that initial grief. You put together projects, and they kind of go on for about a year or 2, 3 years, and then the kind of the grief, as they say, time sometimes heals a little bit, so you're not as involved. But you guys are 10 plus
Yeah.
years strong here, and still just keeping that memory of her alive. And
Yeah.
and every time I go to the awards for the scholarships, it's always just beautiful to see that from her Megan's mission starting up, that we're able to take care of these young kids starting their college career in a nursing field. That's a hard profession.
Right.
Yeah.
What they
Yes.
have to deal with in nursing. I mean, people, until you're there, know,
Right.
and
Oh,
done
yeah.
your baths and your changes and medicines. I mean, the nurses run that place. Doctors come in there.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing against doctors, but
Right.
clipboard, look, read through it. But I mean,
Absolutely.
the day in, day out of those hospital stays are the nurses, making it happen.
What's the scholarship called?
It's the Megan Mission
So
Memorial.
when that's what they give
Megan's
out.
Mission Memorial Scholarship.
Yeah.
And so,
And speaking of nurses, we have 4? We still keep in touch with several, but we have 4 that has become like family to us, and we still do things with them like we do our
And
family.
did they complete their degree? Have they become nurses?
Oh yeah, these four were her nurse.
Hospital.
They were her nurses.
Oh, they were her
Yeah.
nurses.
Her nurses.
And
Yeah, we
now
did the
you're
same
still-
thing. The nurse that was there when my daughter passed and was pretty much in those last few days, we named our rainbow baby. My daughter, my ninth grade daughter, now Elena, after the nurse that was there, was such a, people don't realize that connection, but we were like, you helped us at the most vulnerable part of our life, having to give our child over to, God.
Right.
You were there. So we said, the strength that she showed in that moment,
Absolutely.
and the compassion, we're like, if we're ever blessed, which we were, to have another baby, we're going to name her. And we did. And we still get postcards, from Christmas seasons,
I mean,
We
they
still see 'em a
seriously
couple
become
times.
like
17
her.
years later,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
There's definitely a bond that happens when you walk through a season like this. And the fact that you guys have stayed right here, you're here in Meade County, you're sharing all of this with people is just incredible. And, we from the Messenger, we thank you guys for this. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk about this with you and to be able to share this. We've just got a few more minutes before we wrap up. Is there anything that that Steve or I haven't
Any other
asked
big
with
shout
you?
outs you need to give to anybody?
This is, or anything that you want anybody to know about Saturday. It's going to be
just
rain,
wanna-
rain or
rain or shine.
Yep.
Rain or
Okay.
shine. Our
We have
runners.
rain in the rain.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've
They're pretty
gotten-
dedicated.
The one I usually
Quite
get,
wet.
and I'm fine with it, but sometimes people have pet friendly dogs, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know if I can, but
Yeah.
I've been there. I think the other ones I've done.
Yeah, we've
always
several.
had some animals running alongside.
Well, I think you can't beat it. You can have animals, you can have kids, you can have strollers, you can have walkers. You
Yeah,
can.
we want to
but
be
you
a
can't have
family.
things like bicycles.
No motorized
Yeah,
or anything
nothing
like
like
that. Yeah,
So,
just
yeah.
as a safety thing.
Yeah, of course. So, all right. Well, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We're glad that you guys came and joined us and
Thank you
told
for
us
the
a little
invite.
bit. Oh, of
No,
course.
yeah, thank you for coming here.
Definitely
And then,
a shout out to our
um,
sponsors. And
Stephen will be there to
Yep,
cover this.
I'll be in last place like
Yeah.
normal. But my young kids
not.
beat me.
Maybe
so.
not.
Okay, well, Heidi and Tara, thank you so much
Thanks.
for coming in.
Thank you for
taking time
inviting
out of
us
your
in.
day to be with us. And so go ahead and wave to this camera as we check off. Yeah.
Toodaloo.
Bye-bye.